This is your first exposure. Gotcha. Well, this is like by far the weirdest title in like the entire series. Like there's three main games so far, so I guess a trilogy of sorts. And then this is like a spin-off 2D one on the 3DS. But all the other ones were 3D and play out as very different games, you could say. Like if I find a thingamabob here. If I find, for example, my 3-player playthrough. Hold on just a second here. I don't know why my freaking Firefox is being so laggy. Probably because I have, like, probably close to 25 or 30 tabs open. Hold on, a hot ticker here. My Firefox is being really, really laggy. Is the thing. So, the Pikmin series is very different from this, typically. If I find like the final boss of this and we pause this for a hot second, this is kind of what Pikmin normally looks like, and the video froze.
It's gotta come off soon.
Except this is the final boss of Pikmin 2, so it's maybe not the best example.
Oh, thank God.
So
We got really good RNG.
can I turn down the volume? It's loud.
During that, at least.
I know.
So it's usually 3D and looks something like this, except maybe with one screen. This was 3-player. So it usually looks like this.
The instant kill thing is at least done.
The final boss is maybe not the best example. That is maybe not the best example at all. It's adorable chaos. It really is. That's a really good way of describing Pikmin, is adorable chaos. I don't know why it's freaking lagging. Because I have a bazillion tabs open. Yeah, so the 3D games, the first two were on the GameCube, and the second one was also on the Wii. And then the third one is on the Wii U and the Switch. And it's typically kind of like this, about exploring around areas. With like your Pikmin squads, with up to 100 as opposed to up to 20 on the one that I'm doing. So, it's...
Okay, so we
I don't know how to describe it. It's very interesting. All about going around collecting treasure with your Pikmin squads. And then there's this spin-off here. If we go ahead and continue that and we go over to, if we turn off display capture and such. So, like, there's the 3 main games that all kind of look like that, essentially. And then there's this one, which is 2D, and it's the only 2D Pikmin game. So, like, every other Pikmin game has, like, your open 3D area that you have to explore and find all the collectibles and such with your up to 100 Pikmin squad. Whereas this game is, like, a series of 2D preset levels that several of which are like very platformy and stuff. Like it's so different and weird, and this is my first time ever playing Hey Pikmin. It's just so different from all the other ones. It's so strange. I don't know why it exists, quite frankly. There's been supposed to have been a Pikmin 4 for like so many years now. Nintendo said that Pikmin 4 was in development like forever ago, and there's been like no news of it. So who knows if Pikmin 4 is ever gonna be a thing. But yeah, the 2D side scroller for nostalgia could well be. I mean, it's the first that this series has ever done of 2D. It is a very interesting format for it. I do still personally prefer the 3D experiences of Pikmin, but this is intriguing to say the least. I really didn't like it at first, but honestly, it's kind of come to grow on me. And some of the level design of some of these levels has actually been like really interesting. Like this thing that we're experiencing right now. What the heck is? Don't you dare! Don't you dare! Okay, cool. Like it's so different. Like at first I thought it was a bad different, but like it has honestly started to grow on me, this game. It has definitely started to do so. But I do wish that there would be a Pikmin 4, considering that Pikmin 3 released in 2013, I believe. So it's literally been 8 years since we... Oh, come on! This game sucks sometimes. So it's literally been 8 years since like a new like main series game, unfortunately. I'll say same, you mean you know what you first saw this game, but it's really grown on you. So yeah, that's awesome to hear then. Grows on you like a bad fungus. That's kind of what it's been like, hasn't it? Oh, these guys. I don't like these guys. Like, this game is definitely far from perfect. And I'll still play. What? Oh, no. I hate these guys so much. I hate them. I hate them. They're the worst. They're actually the worst. Okay, jeez. Oh, look at some Pikmin back from there. So yeah, typically in all the other main series, normal kind of Pikmin games, when you defeat an enemy, you'd be able to haul their corpse back to the Pikmin's mothership and use that to make more Pikmin. In this game with the preset levels, you just have Pikmin handed to you throughout the level, which is like, you know, not at all how it happened in the other games. Now we have the Angry Birds. That really is it, isn't it? So yeah, in all the other Pikmin games, you collect treasure to like fulfill the main objective of the game and such, and you collect, oh, let's look up for that, and you actually collect enemy corpses to make more Pikmin, and Pikmin pellets, which come from plants and such. But so yeah, with every enemy that you kill, as long as you didn't lose a whole bunch of Pikmin, you use it to make your army even bigger, and that was like one of the most satisfying things about Pikmin games, is the fact that like with the death of your enemies comes the expansion of your army, you know. What's through here? What is through here, I wonder? So yeah, it's definitely a very different title compared to others. This game has definitely grown on me. I'll still happily take Pikmin 1, 2, or 3 over this game as like my cup of tea pretty much any day. But this game does have its own charm. And I no longer think that it's, you know, necessarily a bad game. I think that it's charming in its own way. I don't think it's as good as Pikmin 1, 2, or 3, honestly. Don't you dare. But it is unique in an interesting kind of way. This is basically like weird Maca-Wall. Yeah, transmute corpses into soldiers. Yep, sounds about right. That's basically Pikmin in a nutshell. Jeebus. Jeebus, man. But yeah, I wonder when Pikmin 4 was announced to be in development anyway. Because, like, I don't know if it is anymore. Is this toothpaste? What is this? Like, hold on, I'm gonna Google this now. Wait a hot second. When was Pikmin 4 announced in development? 2015. Nintendo legendary game developer Shigeru Miyamoto confirmed that Pikmin 4 was in development back in 2015. But considering there's been literally no news since, I knew it was a long time, but 6 years? Jeez. So, an actual fourth game was announced to be in development 6 years ago. And there's been no news since then. I mean, it could have meant this, but I don't think this is supposed to be Pikmin 4. I think this is supposed to be a spin-off. Like, that's what it looks and feels like. This doesn't feel like a Pikmin 4. This feels like a spin-off. Don't you dare! I hate these guys! Necromantic science for growth. Yeah, that was something that was really satisfying about the... Freaking get up! Whoops. I misclicked on my computer. There we go. Whereas in this game, they just like vanish when you kill them. Whereas in the other games, there's actually a benefit to having their corpses. Main circle of life and all. Yeah, the Pikmin just kind of haul corpses to their mothership, and then it just immediately makes more Pikmin. It just sprouts them from there. The Pikmin have a weird life cycle. They have a strange one, to say the least. Is the thing. But yeah, it is definitely a charming, cute game. I mean, it's a charming, cute game where you literally lead an army, and my shoulder just cracked. I don't know if my mic picked that up. That actually hurt. Ow. What the heck? Whatever. Doesn't matter. Like, it's a game with, like, cute, charming characters where you go around, like, collecting treasure and stuff. But under the surface, it's a... Oh, get over here fast. It's about keeping your valuable units alive as you bring them to war and take them through crazy conflicts and such. And, oh, I can go through things if I'm not right. They kill to reproduce. Is there a word for that? I don't know. Oh, is this oh. Another treasure here. Interesting. Like, the first game was about collecting ship parts to repair your ship and escape the planet. The second game was about collecting treasure to make money and pay off company debt. The third game was about collecting fruits to help your starving planet. And then this game is once again back to collecting treasure, but to turn into like fuel for your ship to escape the planet. Once again, kind of like in the first game. Kind of similar to that is the thing. That makes him a kind of parasite? It kind of does in a way. I mean, they're very much like worker ants almost. Like swarming enemies with sheer numbers. And then hauling their corpse back to their home. Except only in their case, it just like immediately makes more of their kind, just instantly like that. What the hell goes on with Olimar's planet? I mean, the first and second game were about Olimar. Like, you played as Olimar in the first and second game. Like, first you crash landed on the planet, and then by the time that you get back to the planet in Pikmin 2 after escaping Pikmin 1, your company's in crazy debt, and you gotta freaking go back to the planet to pay off the debt because it turns out there's a bunch of valuable treasure on it and stuff. Pikmin 3 actually had different protagonists. In Pikmin 3, you had... No! You had a trio of protagonists that you would switch between, and like Pikmin 2 you had 2 characters that you would switch between, Olimar and Louis. Pikmin 1 only had Olimar, and then Pikmin 2 had Olimar and Louis that you would switch between, 2 different characters. And then Pikmin 3 had 3 different characters, so maybe if Pikmin 4 happens, there'll be 4. But it had a new set of protagonists, Alf, Brittany, and Charlie, A, B, and C. What the heck is this nonsense? That we're trying to save their starving planet, which is different from Olimar's planet. So... it wasn't all Olimar's planet shenanigans. Pikmin 3 had a... Oh, you need to keep the bomb rock this entire time to there. Jeez. Wacky. So yeah, it's not all Olimar's planet shenanigans. So there's been 4 Pikmin games. 3 follow Olimar. 1 follows a different cast, being Pikmin 3. Is a thing. They're the same species as Olimar, so different colony, you guess? I mean, they look basically the same, but they're canonically from different planets. Would they be the same species? They might be different species, even though they look basically exactly the same. Maybe they just inhabit different planets? Because they look exactly the same. Alf, Brittany, Charlie, Olimar, Louis, and the president, who I don't know if he has a name. He just goes by, like, president, the company president that Olimar and Louis work for.